Folks, yesterday I was unable to record my outing in education expo. Now, the reason behind is I was with my daughter, and my daughter's eyes are everywhere, and therefore she's very fixated with all the colorful lollies and as well some activities. Now, I also brought along with my family member who Diana will might know, where I make videos that buy a house in Whatlet. And I always urge him that if you're gonna have kids in Australia, and that particular guy, that family member, he's a master's background as well in some form of doctor perfection. I don't know which type of doctor. You want to make sure that your next generation is going to be, whether they pass on that sort of lineage or good education area. And of course, whether it's government selective, private, elites, or whatever grammar you guys will name it. Obviously, there's a bottom line of a curriculum. But what's they taught more extras and as well the skills and more selective on electives, more educators on the spot and technology as well. Now, I'm glad that I took him to this event to let them know that educators in Australia, I can't speak for around the world, but I certainly speak for Australia, is that educators will obviously teach on the daytime and nighttime. When they go back at night, they don't switch off. They do marking or do homework or how they run their slideshows or whatever, how it is the next day, right? It's a lot of work for educators. Now, by attending to this event, it gives a lot of tools and as well the established areas to maximize the educators to teach a lot more and as well to provide a lot better, quicker tools. It's like me saying to you guys, like, you go to a tool shop and, there's a cheap drill and there's an expensive drill. And what is the difference? Oh, they work the same. One is a longevity, it can be compact, it can be lasting long for the battery, and as well you can talk about stamina, like you can run like 5 hours without burning out the motor. It's brushless. You can name whatever you want in comparison to a cheap drill. So that's what I tried to explain to him, like, yes, you can take your kids to school in Wallet and surrounded by newly arrived migrants who just learned English, or you want to move to where he's currently living in Reservoir. Those, you have like two, 3 generations that kids are learning good English and as well. But you talk about environment. Which one has what has a high divorce, parenting, and the other one is like intact family. Obviously talk about socio-economic, the education level of those who live in close to the city and instead of live further away. You also go through, uh, like you have all that, and kids have been disciplined. You can see the ones who live further away will chuck the kids to childcare for most of the time, especially in nowadays current world of the cost of living, and as well, it's just a different ball game as well, different socioeconomic, but also the educators more tend to go to a better school than instead of further away. And I try to give him example. For example, if you go to a school like further away or highly migrant or whatever how it is, the kids runs the class. They muck it up. They do some random um, they stuff up the class deliberately, or they have fights, or they don't care, don't pay attention, and educators try their best, to contain the situation. Where the ones in the very good area of good schooling, or good government selective or private grammar, you get laughed on. It's not like they praise on education on that way instead of the other ones like live further away. They don't praise education. They praise on power, hierarchy, structure, who's the coolest kid, X, Y, and Z. And also, by this event, it gives him a shine of details such as, like, whether it's government or private um, settings, the government would tend to put more resources on school, for example, like better, whether it's AI or better system on the computer, to make the workflow a lot easier, tracking, monitor the tasks, or like X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to get into details, but you kind of get what I'm saying. And now that family member is started to open his eyes and start to realize what I'm saying the entire time. Yes, it's the same curriculum. Yes, they studied the same HSC or VCE or school certificate, whatever, but it's the extra curriculum or not being spoon fed information where the others is like find your own information like university style. That's basically what my sister went to. She went to Mac Robinson, one of the best girls, a government selective for girls school in Victoria and Australia. So she did one of the best, and yeah, there's no such thing spoon fed information where you find information on your own. It's basically like you're already prepping them like university level. So that's what I say. Where you live is really determines how your kids grow up to be. And I'm not going to get into details, but it's a very great, even though it's nothing related to me. I was wanting to find something for my daughter to learn. So, it's all I can say is great. It was a free expo for me. And this weekend I'll go to the one for the franchise.